Henry and Maari are the brilliant minds behind Nameless Numberhead, a Charleston-based creative and comedy duo who spent years making, I said that already, trained in the crucible, this is pretty big, of Chicago's best comedy institutions. I.O., Second City, and The Annoyance, big names. And seasoned on stages across the country, they bring top-tier chops and fearless originality to everything they touch. Whether it's teaching workshops, performing, or keeping Charleston's indie comedy scene weird and wonderful with Rip City, they've proven time and time again you don't need to wait for the green light, you make the green light. So please help me welcome the unapologetically sharp, weird, and wildly talented Henry and Maari, aka Nameless Numberhead.
I had to have my first cup of oi.
Whoa.
What are we doing?
You look so punk.
You look so punk.
Thank you for saying that to me. I saw a real punk. Where's the Dead Kennedy shirt?
We have Dead Kennedy shirt, we got a Misfits
Did
shirt,
he
we
leave?
gone.
All right.
Now that's punk. To just
I
leave.
want a bagel and a fucking coffee. I'm out of here.
We'll follow that. That's our talk. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Did we make our point?
Yeah, we made our point. This is kind of punk rock.
Yeah.
This is it. No.
Oh my. Careful.
Sorry, I didn't mean to so aggressively throw that cup to the ground. It's early.
Henry,
Thanks.
it's just kidding. It's Henry and I.
Hey, it's me, guys. You didn't know it. We were so disguised.
Well,
Now we can drop the charade.
Thanks for being here.
There
Me.
we go. Not real.
This is Henry and I. My name is Maari Suorsa.
My name is Henry Riggs. We go by Nameless Numberhead. It's
Yes, and we are a
comedy
comedy duo in town who has pivoted hard to being a kind of jack-of-all-trades production company as well. Hi, how are you?
We're all just out here trying to survive in the creative world. We've actually, wait, where's our slide? Where's it? Oh, sweet. Can we click through? This is another picture of us and our name written large.
Yep, that's definitely what that is.
Here's some brand marks and some places to find us. Let's go to this next slide. This is 10 years ago.
You guys.
CreativeMornings 2015. Look, I see you, Shane. Yeah, who are these people? Is anybody in this room apparently was at this show? Thanks for that. Yeah, we see you in the pic. This is crazy. It feels like so recent, but yet we don't recognize these people. Here's a young Joel Sadler and Jordan Amaker dressed up as Willy Wonka. This was a day where Sweet Teeth Chocolate ruled Charleston with an iron fist. We couldn't get away from it. We're grabbing Sweet Teeth Chocolate at every turn.
Yeah, our word for this one was shock, and our word for today.
Next slide. Punk.
Punk.
You got it. Here's textbook definition. We have a lot of touch points on this already. We pulled this right from Wikipedia. These are all just what you think of.
And then Henry assembled this on Canva because there's nothing more punk than Canva.
The revolution will not be televised, but it will be brought to you by Canva.com.
Get your messages out there,
Yeah.
Canva.com.
Get it out there. This is all the classic
These are
stuff.
great. Read them to yourself. It helps if you read them in this voice. Anti-capitalism.
Yeah. You can even add like a dad at the end of it, so you can be like, non-conformity, dad.
Yeah. Try it. It helps.
Like pick one of these and try to add dad to the end. Like just do it amongst yourself. Like, I'm not selling out, dad. Yeah, let's get one.
anti-corporate greed, Dad.
Well done. Yes, it's right.
That's why I didn't get you a Father's Day card, Dad.
Right.
I'm not giving CVS my money, Dad. Kind of stuff like that.
I am going to check some notes. I'm sorry. We did make cards. The most punk rock thing of all, we made no cards for this.
Something you need to know about me is I can talk for 1 minute or approximately 600 minutes. 20 minutes is not my sweet spot. I want to take lots of bobs and weaves, and I want to go on tangents, and we just don't have the time.
Yeah, this is nightmare timeline for us. We just want to riff. So we made cards to keep us on track.
Oh my gosh, we're on to the second card.
I'm going to tell a story.
Please do.
Like we're at a party, and I just saw that thing on the internet. Hey, have you guys seen this? Rick Rubin was talking about Rick Rubin, producer, guy who is like in the room when great things happen. And he was talking about like getting onto the scene through the punk rock community. And it was interesting. He was basically like, at the time, there were all these established bands, these talented musicians. And then comes punk rock, where you could just learn 3 chords and be loud, and you were a musician. And he was like, that was awesome because it gave people access. Hey, yeah. Somebody clap up your hell yeah. Give them access. Be loud. Do your thing. And so, like, it's basically saying, like, we don't need the traditional rules to do the thing. Here's a new way, Dad.
Yeah, so when you're like around 18, you kind of start figuring out like the artistic pool you're gonna jump in. And so every young person is just like, I'm gonna immerse myself in the scene, I'm just gonna go for it. And then you kind of go, as it goes on, you're in it, you're living it, and you're like, I'm going to invest in this. So when we graduated college, like any good comedian does, we moved to where you go for comedy, which for us is Chicago. We had seen that all of our idols had come out of there. Everyone is coming out of this one hub, and it seems like that is the place to go because it just spits out funny people.
Totally. So we went to Chicago, and basically we were trying to figure out the scene, get involved in the scene. And what we learned is, next slide, you gotta
learn the rules.
Let's get those rules.
Man, there is nothing more ironic than going to a place and paying lots of money to learn how to do the thing that children do instinctually on a playground.
Right. We spent a lot of our money learning comedy rules, specifically improv comedy rules. Next slide. And here they are. Here, so we're giving you thousands of dollars of education right now. These are the rules of improv comedy, and they're basically just good human rules.
Yeah.
That's all they are. They're just good guidelines.
Which is so funny because a lot of comedians are dirtbags.
Yes.
But you're learning how to be a good human in these classes. I don't know where the disconnect is. That's one of my classic tangents.
Oh, rein her in, get back, Maari.
So basically, if you have any knowledge of improv, maybe you do, maybe you don't, the foundational first block is yes and.
Classic stuff.
You can go anywhere if you and your scene partner, life partner, co-worker, anyone, agree that what you say is reality and that person will agree and build on that. You can go anywhere if all you're doing is agreeing and building and agreeing and building and agreeing and building.
Is there anybody in the room who doesn't know what improv comedy is or like doesn't have familiarity? I feel like it's pretty ubiquitous.
No, it's super popular everywhere.
Everybody does it. We're improvising right now. Life is improv. So basically, 2 people are creating an entire scenario from nothing. An audience suggestion. You're building it together. So you do need these ground rules, and these are just ones that we took from like Chicago philosophies, specifically that come from the studies of like Viola Spolin and Del Close, that teach these kind of tenets. And there's a lot of really great ones. Play to the top of your intelligence. You don't want to play dumb because if you seem dumb, then you're being false and you want to try to get to a place of honesty. Be very specific. Be honest. Don't go for jokes. They tell you to try to find the honest reaction because there's truth in comedy. And then did you want to grab any? I was going to close this out.
Did we talk about this one?
That's the one I was going to do.
Let's do do that one?
This is like a tenet that we like to live by and something that we're trying to instill into the Charleston ethos, which is like treat each other like they're poets and geniuses and they have a better chance of becoming that on stage. Basically, everybody's good, you know? And if you treat them with that level of genius, like what you do is an amazing art and I'm a real fan of what you do, then you have a better chance of getting that back as opposed to, you know, if you're judging what people are doing, then everybody's just judging it. It's
What's the rising tide lifts all boats?
rising boats lifts all boats.
We
So-
go there. He completes me.
I get you. What are we supposed to say?
Where are we?
Hold on. Oh, I'm going to share another interesting fact. The mother of improvisation, the often accredited mother of improvisation, is Viola Spolin, and modern American improvisation. Improv's been around with Commedia, you know, back in medieval times, but modern American improvisation started as a practice. It was intuitive language games for immigrant children to better acclimate to American schools so they could communicate. So this woman was teaching intuitive language games. Basically, let's figure out what's going on when we don't have any words to communicate. So it was theater games. She was using theater games to create these scenarios like, let's understand each other better. And I think that's sort of like the genesis of the attraction of improvisation is like, God, don't we just want to like understand each other better? And it's the most like raw practice of that because literally 2 actors up on stage, your word is bananas, figure it out. Cool. So it's like, that's the whole thing. We're trying to understand each other. So I think that's why it's a magnetic practice.
And then with anything, once you learn the rules, you immediately want to find any way to play but the right way.
Right.
So it's like once you can play the game of life so many times until you rip the board in half and go, what happens when we play upside down or with half a board? So then we started to
Next slide. Break the rules. That was like maybe the best lesson of our time on the scene in Chicago is that learning the rules gives you a better understanding for breaking the rules. You have to understand what rules you're breaking in order to have any sort of like foundational understanding.
when we moved to Charleston, we were like in the height of like our Chicago comedy career. All of our friends were going to New York and LA, and we were like, there's a gut feeling that that's not right for us. Where can we go and continue what we're doing in a place that feels right? So we moved down here and immediately hit it off with bands. We loved how they could just find show up in the corner of a bar, show up on an empty stage, anything, as long as there was a power source, just go, plug in, do their thing, and then be gone. And you're left with this moment or this night that you had that you're like, was that fucking real? They just came in and had this, we're like, how can we apply that energy to comedy? Which sometimes comedy's not like that.
So yeah, we just started experimenting with that model and kind of figuring out, well, how do we want to build the show we want to build? Chicago gave us a great opportunity to like fail and learn in a bunch of like institutions that were sort of embedded in the Chicago world of like, I think Steph was talking about it, you need opportunity to fail. You need platforms to do the thing wrong so you can understand how you're doing it wrong. So we just tried stuff. We'll go next slide. And we just kind of built a weird DIY show. This is like early days of us touring. We basically had our own backdrop. We literally just clamp lights to pieces of wood. We refined this over the years.
We were frequent flyers at Home Depot and Best Buy.
Oh yeah.
Those were
Punched many punch cards.
our spots.
And over to the side, I can't really see it, but maybe you guys can. It's like a tech setup. So we basically had our own tech on stage with us and could operate our music cues and our lighting cues with foot switches and pedals. So we basically hacked the tech booth and brought it up on stage so that we didn't have to explain to engineers or tech people like, hey, here's our very specific cues, and when we say this line, you hit the lights and this music cue. And it was...
And the success of our show rests on your shoulders alone.
Don't worry about it. We're very chill. So we were like, no, that's just, you have 30 minutes to explain an hour-long show to whoever. So we were like, we're just going to do it on stage.
It also us the freedom to improvise and move around. We didn't always have the same outline, and nothing is more terrifying to a tech person than, and then sometimes we say this and then sometimes we don't, okay?
Yeah, it could be very different. Maybe it has a whole new ending. I don't know. Maybe we'll find something new tonight.
How do I feel?
So this just gave us a little bit of freedom to like experiment with our show and like tighten it up really good. And the thing that we built out of convenience initially, which was just Maari and I writing together and living together and working together, started to become incredibly inconvenient as we had children and we needed time together to work and to build stuff.
It's whatever the quote is, like it takes a lot of money to look this cheap. Like it takes so much shit to look this minimal apocalyptic vaudeville. Like it was so much stuff.
Surveillance chic.
Surveillance chic.
But I was gonna say that like we're big proponents of doing the thing before it's ready. Like put the thing out there before it's ready, before it's refined, before it's like ready for prime time. Which takes us into the work we do today. Next slide, which is our monthly show, Rib City. Has anybody been to Rib City in this room? We do it in this room. Thanks to Silver Hill and the team at Silver Hill, who's been helping us kind of revitalize the show. We've been doing the show for 10 years. Funny that we just celebrated a 10-year mark. CreativeMornings just passed their 10-year mark. Home Radio is about to celebrate 10 years. There's some good kinetic energy.
What's going on?
10 years ago.
Swoopy bangs were getting it done.
That's
10
right.
years ago.
It was all that sweet tea that just propelled us into the
High on sweet tea and the sky was the limit.
into the future. But okay, so we basically a synthesis of all that stuff, of our Chicago experience of like being able to fail, putting stuff out there before it's ready, us touring that model and kind of figuring it out, and then trying to find what old Ricky Rubin said, which is just trying to give people access, right? It's trying to reduce the barrier of entry of saying like, well, comedy looks really hard. Well, yeah, it is, but like, just, you could do it. You can just do something silly. You can put yourself out there and do it before it's ready. So, you know, some of the things we preach at every show, we tell people the only rule is to not be an asshole. The reason we do that, obviously we don't want feedback and hecklers from the audience, but it's also an invitation to the audience to like enjoy untested work, like because it needs the performer to do it and it needs the audience to support it. So if that's that community building.
The preface is also for the performers. I don't know if that's always clear, but sometimes the performer can come out and have an air about them. But we're really trying to invite both parties to just be there together and work together rather than one versus the other.
Totally. A lot of times we don't know what people are doing at Rib City. We just say like, you have an idea, try this idea and test it. The audience will kind of give you feedback. You will understand more about your process by putting the work out in front of people and sort of working with that feedback, taking criticism. Like if it doesn't go well, the audience won't laugh. That's not necessarily an indictment. It's just sort of like tweak it, make it better. Like that's part of the process of like failing a little bit. Oh, I did this thing, it doesn't feel quite right. Let me adjust this a little bit. Try it again. Put something else out there. Be silly, but take it seriously. Like, be serious about the work, but make it a silly concept.
Yeah, we also want people to go to shows and get inspired. There are clearly more music shows to go to in town. Finding things that are outside of your wheelhouse to get inspired by. It's hard to see the same thing in where your brain gets in this pattern of, oh, I'm a musician, I should see different types of music. You can be inspired by literally anything. So just getting out and meeting people and going out it's a lived life that makes any art better because you have something to pull from and it's not just this kind of snake eating its own tail.
And we really do try to practice that mantra of treating each other like poets and geniuses. Like when people put work for Rib City, we treat it like it's really, we treat everyone like their work is really good and we're invested in seeing this thing get better. So we always encourage people to just do the thing, don't judge it, don't take so much time on it, just do it. It's never gonna be ready. If you're waiting to be ready, it never will be. Dude, we're going.
We're cooking. Dude.
Hold on, I'm out of order.
Why?
Oh no, we're back to the beginning. So it ties into the mission.
Are we at my drop down?
Wait, yes, drop it down and switch the slide.
Cards.
Which brings us to sort of like our working mission. This is something that like ties into the work that we do, is to keep artistic growth on pace with commercial development in Charleston. Because that's pretty freaking punk, honestly. That's kind of punk rock, honestly. It's hard. It's hard to be an artist. It's hard to convince money people that art is a good idea. I mean, that's just.
Why is it so hard?
Why is it so hard? You can't make money on this stuff.
How do people get money?
So guys, if you know anything about how you get money and how you make money, you can come chat with us afterwards. We'd love to know.
I'm born without that piece of my brain.
We don't have that
I
ability.
think my love of cookies is where my money-making part of my brain should be.
Bake sales?
I love bake
Guys,
sales.
we'd love to do a bake
I call
sale.
them bake freeze. And I just give them away.
Oops, we almost had a money idea. Our show is called Rip City. It's kind of like a Rorschach test. Our logo, we have some stickers in the back. Our logo is the skyline of Charleston with cranes in the back and graves in the front. The Rorschach test being, what do you see? Do you see growth? Do you see death? Do you see opportunity? Is this good? Do we like this? So that's kind of where we spend most of our energy, is sort of like investing in the community, not only in the artists who try to make their work and their living here, but also the community of people who want to enjoy that type of work, because you need the audience, you need the support of the community to keep it going.
Basically taking punk out of the subculture and bringing it into a mentality for creation of we are in a space where we are told no so often that finding your yes is so important. And then once you find your yes, you see that there are like other people lurking around, like coming out of the woodwork being like, are you also yes? Are you yes? I'm yes. Let's be yes to this thing. And which is what we found with the performers for Rip City, which is we try to span all creative mediums, because Charleston, there's no stage to just fail. You have to like be in the dark and like work on a thing, and then you have to like step out and like present it and write a press release, and people have to decide that it's worth it to show up, and it just has to be this thing, and you put so much money and time and effort into this thing, and then it's gone. So we want to have a space where it's just like, hey, you have an idea. Do you want to just get it out of your system so that somebody else in the audience can go, I also can do that. Steph said that in her talk, and it's like, there is no barrier to entry. Because I feel like a snake oil salesman when we do a workshop and we're teaching sketch writing, and the funniest people in town are coming out and they go, I've already brought the idea. I can type on a computer, and I'm going, what am I doing? What did you pay me for? I'm giving you permission? Just do it.
That's all people are looking for: permission, access. And so I feel like that's the best way to build those communities, is just to give people access and to just reiterate that you can do the thing that you want to do. You can start today. You can start tomorrow if you want to. It doesn't really matter. Just start. That's the point. Just start the thing. The failure is part of the process. And that's like trying to build more platforms where the audience can appreciate the process of, hey, this thing isn't ready yet, but there's something cool here, and we need to encourage this. And that's our TED Talk. Yes. And are we supposed to do a Q&A? Is that what happens now? Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. So questions, if anybody has any questions. We know most of you. Tim.
It's been a hot 10-year run for you.
Hot.
What do you see 10 years from now? What does Nameless Numberhead look like? Where are you? What are you doing?
Probably retired in Barcelona. Probably have 16 movies under our belts, and we're just like coasting, dressing like Adam Sandler.
Daily cookie giveaways. We're gonna really get on this bake sale idea.
No, I think Definitely a feature film would be wonderful. Like taking our knowledge of like small scale production and actually like making the moves on some of these bigger projects that we've got kicking around. Yeah, I don't know. We have kids. I don't know if that's obvious. But man, that sucks for creative time for yourself. You're not gonna be one of those people who are like, I love them. You don't have to say that. It's a given. It is so tough to get anything done, literally anything done. So we are kind of coming out of the muck and like able to have some time for ourselves, which is very exciting.
I would kind of tie it back to kind of what's on tap. We've started to do these like special events, like trying to kind of dabble into some more experience stuff. Like we did a show called Rip City on a Boat, which is basically exactly what it sounds. We took the show, we did it on a boat, and the funny feedback of that was like how many of our friends and our audience members don't get to like experience the wonders of Charleston, the things that people, the things that the tourists get to enjoy Charleston for. We don't really take it. How many of you guys are doing sunset cruises? Like, how often do we get to do that? This guy does. Well, he talk to Captain Jay afterwards. He can help you out with a sunset cruise. But it's like these Charleston experiences are really fun. So how can we kind of tap in? How can we take back tourist experiences for locals? Maybe that's part of it. We do Rip City at the Movies to encourage like filmmaking. We're working with the South Carolina Film Commission and the Indie Grants Program, which awards money to young filmmakers to make their movies in South Carolina. So I think we want to participate a little bit more in the film industry of like attracting more film business. Like Maari said, we want to make that movie and get to Barcelona quickly. And then we always dream of a venue space, but I don't know how doable that is in Charleston. We have wonderful friends that have space. Like we've been using Silver Hill Studios for several years, and
once you own the space, you get a little less pumped because then you have to worry about I don't know, like a word I've heard is liabilities. I don't know.
Insurance. So dreams of
liquor
who
licenses.
Who knows if that ever materializes? But yeah.
Captain J.
Captain J.
Thank you for the plug, first of all.
Nice.
My business is also 10 years old, so something is going
Yeah!
10 years. Give it up for 10 years.
In 2015?
What's that?
Did you have swoopy bangs in 2015?
No.
Okay.
Not even a beard either.
Oh.
Unrecognized.
You mentioned about putting things out there before they're ready. Have you ever put something out there and been like, man, we should have done a little more like practice or effort?
I think this talk is
Every day. If we haven't exhibited that to you today, let's start from the beginning. Yes, we definitely wish we were more prepared.
Yes, constantly.
Always. We Monday morning quarterback it all the time. But
we describe our presentation as the glue still being wet. If you give us 6 months, we will wait till the night before.
Sunday night before
There's something
to
wrong.
put the science fair project together and turn it in with the glue still soaking wet.
There is like fear has to kick in for me for some reason.
It's urgency.
And yeah, it's constantly. It's like it's any conversation, it's any presentation, like, oh my God, how did we miss this glaring obvious joke? How did we miss this tie-in? How did we not coordinate our out? Like, there's 1,000 things being like, if I had given this an ounce more thought, the first one could have been great, and then you just have to build on it from there. So that's even like self-editing, being like, okay, move this to the end, that will make sense. And then you kind of have to like beautiful minds it like afterwards and be like, the next audience will get the best version. And then you do it again and they're like, okay, now I got it.
And celebrating 10 years, looking back on that time and reflecting on that time, it's funny because I think through the years you just feel like, you're a clown, you're silly, you're a clown, nobody cares, it's silly, it's stupid. And then looking back on 10 years, be like,
Stop reading my journals.
I was just quoting Maari's journal. We look back and you're like, suddenly you feel like an expert. It's like, oh damn, we've been producing live comedy shows for 10 years. And it's like, oh yeah, we have been doing that heavy lift. We've been working in film and television for 10 years. We actually know what we're doing. And to sort of say like we still want to be at a higher level, but we know what we're doing now because we just started. It's sort of like you never really get the chance, I guess, to look back and say like, oh yeah, okay, we know some things, but I think the 10-year mark helped us kind of look back and be like, okay, we feel a little bit more confident about like our abilities and our professionalism, I guess, even though nothing is still prepared.
Yeah, a stinker's still a stinker.
One more? One more?
Yes, Lindsay Collins of FDB Radio. Please stand.
When you're co-writing, how do you decide where the joke is? Do you guys kind of write an individual idea and then someone punches it up, or do you both kind of come at an idea together? What's the process like?
Can you guys repeat the question?
Yes.
Oh, yes, right.
Lindsay asked, how do we write together? Where do we decide to put in the jokes? And what is that process like?
It's evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I come up with a premise and I write a very funny character for myself, and then Henry has to justify why he's even in the scene.
It's a puzzle and rewarding in its own way.
I mean, there's so many different styles of sketch. I'm like, I have this idea for a character, and I'll write, it's basically, I might as well write like blank, faceless, nothing person. And then they have some lines. So
A nameless number.
Exactly.
I was just trying to tie in that.
So they get like the lines that will prompt me. They have these incredibly witty things to say. And then Henry will be like, am I matching your energy? Am I the straight man? Am I like, are you crazy and I'm normal? Are we in a weird alternate universe? But
It also
typically,
depends on the style. So like we do it a lot of different ways. So like if somebody has an idea, a strong idea that they need to sort of like write it out, here's how it goes, and we can figure out kind of the pace of it, punch it up and add jokes. Or if the whole thing is like dialed in, I've got the whole thing, like we will pitch it as a whole thing. Or if it's like an abstract idea, maybe we, ping pong like what happens in this thing. Where do we go from here? What's more interesting? Is this fun?
Yeah.
Like following the fun idea.
I'm also very sensitive. If Henry doesn't like laugh out loud at my first idea, I am like pissed.
Oh, it's in the initial pitch. It's always in the initial pitch. If you're excited about an idea and like I pitched to Maari and she's like lukewarm on it, it's like, that's dead. We're never doing that. That's not an idea. And vice versa. She pitches me something, if I don't react right away, it's like, it's done. We're not doing it. It's not fair. We have to kind of agree on it right out the gate.
Yeah.
Which kind of works.
It's not for everyone.
It's not only
It's
practice
a long
that makes
together
sense.
time.
Sweet. Thanks for having us, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget, we're here tomorrow night. Rip City tomorrow night.
Rip City tomorrow night.